Hi, my name is Casey Miles. I'm being interviewed by Bobby here. This is my original 69 Z28. It's an original Baldwin Chevrolet car.
All right, so we are here at the Baby Gators, Gainesville, Florida, Division II, big race, class eliminations, checking out stock and super stock cars. Check out this 1969 Z28 Camaro. This is Casey Miles. Casey hails from Boca Raton, Florida, but his accent tells me otherwise. Casey, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Long Island, Levittown.
Oh, all right.
And
let's take a look here at this engine. Now, Casey, tell us all how you acquired this car and what year you did.
okay, there was a guy at work selling the car, and I have an older brother, and he says to me, I told him about the Z28 being sold, and he says to me, let's go look at it. So he said to me, either he's going to buy it out from under me or I'm going to buy it. So I asked the gentleman who owned the car, how much could he, what he could take out of the car. And he took the 8-track stereo out and sold me the car. Instead of $1,400, he sold it to me for $1,350.
He took the 8-track out and saved 50 bucks.
Yep, exactly. But 50 bucks back then was a lot of money.
I want to know how much that 8-track would be worth right now.
Probably a lot of money. I had the car repainted last year, but I didn't have anything done inside because I got the original body trim paint stuff on the firewall. This is the paperwork to this car is in Jerry McNeish's book of Z28s.
Now, Jerry McNeish, he has a 67Z. He works for Barrett Jackson. We've done a couple 67Zs interviews. We've never done a 69Z. They all come with 302 cubic inch motors. Are there some differences between the two?
Yes. The difference is the big journal crank versus the small journal crank, and the small journal rods and the big journal rods. So they say it's the same engine, but it's not.
Now, is this 302, what's the advertised and rated for the 69?
It's 290 horse advertised, and that's because it was only brought up to about 5,000 RPM on their dyno. And now it's at 309.
All right, so from 67 to 69, they were all 302 290s. Are all three of them then
Yes.
rated at 309?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the reasons that this car was developed is that back in the day, you could buy 396, 375s, but you couldn't get insurance for them. So these cars, they're an option, not a model. And because it's a model, the insurance companies only thought it was a 69 Camaro with 290 horsepower. So it flew under the insurance rates. And they didn't even know it was a race car. So it was, the insurance on this car was the same thing as my 67 Valiant. So it wasn't a bad deal all around.
That's unbelievable.
This car's only got 23,000 miles on it. And I used to street race it. Matter of fact, John Nobile, who's the pro stock racer, him and I lined up one night. And then the cops showed up and wouldn't let us get it off.
Very cool interior, factory seats, factory steering wheel. This car has not been cut up in any way. Just the gauge panel there. You got an old mechanical tack drive, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, this car didn't come with a console, so the gas gauge is behind the tachometer on the steering column.
Yep, there it is back there. We can see that.
And the original mileage is 23,000 something.
592.
Yep.
Excellent. So this is an E-stock, E-stick. Looks like you have a 4-speed Jericho in there.
Yes, I do.
What's the index for E-stick?
It's 1165.
And what's the minimum weight you have to run?
3260.
All right. So how have you been running so far this weekend?
1120s. In Orlando, I was going 11.0s. I don't know what I did different. But the problem with this car versus the other cars is if I have to race like a 350, 290, 300, I got to give them 200 pounds. They have 200 pounds advantage over me. They got to weigh 3,000 and change, and I got to weigh 3260.
Yes.
So, small cubic inch, but it's a fun car to drive.
Absolutely. It looks fun.
It's street legal. I have full exhaust on it. I have electric cutouts on the car. There is
Full exhaust, huh?
full exhaust.
Wow, look at that. It's got mufflers on it.
Yeah, of course. It's street legal. I drive it around. When I'm in New York, I take it to Belmore train station.
Nice. Let's take a look in the trunk.
This is never been cut up. I have the original spare jack and all that stuff to the car, but I don't need it for the weight.
Wow.
And since it's been painted, you know, all the stickers went away and stuff, but I got them.
Yep, here you got some tailpipes right here.
Yep.
What are they, about 2.5 inches or so?
Yeah, 2.5.
What kind of rear's in the car?
12 bolt. It's a Moser Engineering with gun drilled axles and titanium studs.
What kind of gear ratio do you run?
It's got 557s in it right now, but I run 586s in, you know, when I really want to go fast. And the fastest it's ever gone is 1100 with a 1. It's never been in the 10s yet.
Oh man, well we need this wind to turn into a tailwind. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll get
exactly.
The air has not been that phenomenal here in Gainesville like it normally is.
Actually,
so.
the barometer today was 29.66, and that's really bad for this weather. We usually are around 30, so this car doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's just not there. It's just not
No.
there. Now, this car here, these came with Holley 780 carburetors,
Correct.
but in stock and
I
super
have-
stock, you're
I
allowed
have
an
a-
aftermarket replacement.
Yes, I have the quick fuel aluminum carb. I got heat shields on the
Yeah, I was going to say, what are these plates for here? So these are heat shields, keeping the
heat from coming up from the
keeping
headers.
it from the coming up to the carburetor. That's cool. Who builds the engine?
J&J Balancing. I'm actually getting a new bullet being done by Larry Pritchett.
There you go. It'd be in the 10s.
Hopefully,
Absolutely.
from your mouth to God's ears.
Now, it looks like the car was just recently painted. Who
Yes,
painted
it was painted last year. Matter of fact, it came out of paint last year in December. The guy who I brought it to, his name is Don, and 10 weeks in and out, completely stripped to the bone and back to where you see it now. The radio plays, the windshield wipers work.
That's awesome. He still runs with the windshield. He doesn't take them off. He doesn't even take them off for stock Eliminator competition. This car's been around. I see these old stickers here.
Yep.
Being a 4-speed, what kind of clutch are you running?
I run a Defiant. It's a 10.5-inch Defiant clutch. It's very consistent. Yesterday the car went 1121 with a 2 and 1121 with an 8.
Wow.
And the 60 foots are identical, so I mean, you can't ask for a better clutch setup. I've had others in the car, and I found that I was adjusting them all the time, and I got tired of that. I'm 72 now, so it's like a little bit of too much work for me now. You know, I don't want to work on it anymore.
Right? We want to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Gas and go.
Yep.
What
So-
kind of mile an hour for those 1122 runs?
119.95, just under 120.
Okay.
The car's been 121, but like I said, it has to be real good weather.
Now, were there any other E-stick cars in class eliminations today?
I had to race Jim Roberts, and I had to give him 3/10 of a head start, and he could have beat me heads up. This is not a fast class car. Matter of fact, this is kind of funny.
It's a cool class car. This is the car that we need here.
I had a 2001 Corvette, and the 50th anniversary of the U.S. Nationals was coming up. This car had been to Indy for the 25th, and I wanted to take it to the 50th. And I didn't have any way to get it to go because I didn't have any grade points or anything. So the bracket finals came up for Division II. Matter of fact, at this track, and I won the division. So I got a gold card, and I took this car to the U.S. Nationals for the 50th anniversary on an NHRA gold card.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was kind of fun. I'll start this up and show you the open headers and
Yeah, now Casey has a switch. Is that right? You have a
yeah,
switch?
a switch.
This is the sound with the mufflers. kind of cool. I've never seen anything like that before.
So what I do sometimes is when I'm racing the car, I'll dial up from my my qualifying time, and I'll run the car through the mufflers. So when I start the car, I'll do the burnout with the headers open, and then I'll go to mufflers, and they don't hear the car running no more. So they don't know if I'm broke or not. So, and then the car only runs like 1/10 slower and about 1 mile an hour slower. So it's kind of fun because
that's a pretty neat trick.
It's fun. And then, like I said, I take the car.
And we can listen to some tunes also.
Ray Maggiotti here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park.
And like I said, the windshield wipers work. Everything in the car works.
That's awesome. All right, Casey, so we got to find out where you're going to end up on the ladder. There were no other E-stick cars then for you to race, so you were in a combo. That's why you had to race Jim Roberts,
Yes.
who also has a Camaro, I think, convertible,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, matter of fact, he's on his 50 years also.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I chatted with him. You know, he's a good guy to chat with.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
We caught him in the lanes
matter
yesterday.
of fact, I used to race with him back up on long, you know, when I raced in D1. This car set the national record 3 times back in the day, before everybody was allowed Schubeck lifters and stuff.
Ah. Back in the pure
stock.
Pure stock days.
Yeah, it ran. It was. I set the record in 73, 74, and no, 74, 75, and 79. But that's when I had solid lifters and everybody had hydraulics.
Right. That's when they had a leg up.
Yep.
Chevy had the leg up here. That's why they, man, they really, this was a great piece to put out. High revving, high winding, fun car, rated at 290 horsepower. What a genius move.
Yep.
So,
Like I
all
said-
right, Casey, well, we thank you for joining us.
No, thank you, Bobby.
And we wish you luck tomorrow in eliminations.
It's nothing but bracket racing.
There you go. It is for you. There's no other E-stick cars, so have
Nope.
fun.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Hit that tree. And we'll be watching.